may have come up with a way to turn a walk in the park into something altogether more demanding. And that's with these toning shoes. Shoes that claim to give a whole range of your muscles a thorough workout every time you go for a wander, and without you even realising it. So, to put the latest designs to the test, I limbered up and set off to find a town to walk round. Before my walk, however, I headed to the University of Bath to meet Dr. Polly McGuigan, lecturer in biomechanics, for a scientific assessment.
I think what we should do is place some sensors on your muscles, which will measure when your muscles are turned on and off, and from that we should be able to find out whether these shoes actually do what the manufacturers say they do.
My first pair were the MBT Mahootas. Their curved sole replicates walking on a soft surface like sand, so that the ground no longer feels stable. To compensate for this, your muscles work harder to create stability. At least that's the theory. It certainly feels harder work wearing the MBTs than wearing the normal training shoes. Next up were these Skechers SRTs. Like the MBTs, their rolling sole is meant to replicate walking on a soft surface in order to improve muscle definition and posture. Interesting, when you put the Skechers on, you don't feel as though there's quite so much under your arches, but after you've been wearing them for a mile or so, they actually seem to be having more effect. Our final pair were these Fit Flops. These have a micro wobble board midsole, which, they say, works the leg and derriere muscles. You feel as though they're a shoe of two halves. They've got a sort of firm back end, and yet your foot's actually sort of wobbling around a bit at the front end. Testing over, it was time for the results.
Well, these are the activities in your various different muscles. So basically what we've found is that really, on you, these shoes aren't very different from the normal shoe that you would be walking in while you're walking on a treadmill. That may not necessarily be the case when you're walking over ground.
I now wanted to know what the shoes would be like in a real-life situation, so I decided to go on a guided walking tour, but one with a difference. Meet Ian Braisby, Ghost Walk tour guide. Now, ghost walks, I mean, any sort of walking must be very hard on the feet.
Absolutely it is, yes. These walking tours can be 2 hours, 3 hours or more, and you're on your feet, walking, standing on all kinds of surfaces, especially the ghost walks where we're going through cemeteries and so on. It can be a little hard on the feet.
First up were the MBTs. Of course, we weren't here just to walk up and down. There were tourists to terrify, and Ian was itching to get down to business.
Do follow me for the first ghost stories.
And that meant time to walk. Don't feel that hard to get used to, actually. I mean, how are you finding them?
No, I find them pretty nice for walking on, actually, yes. And Moses Barber, the policeman.
While Ian scared the group, I thought I'd find out what they thought of the MBTs.
A flashy geek.
Flashy geek?
Yeah.
They wouldn't be my first choice. No.
Just the shape, really. That sort of like big white sort of slug at the bottom.
They're not very manly, are they?
Oh, not manly, oh
No,
gosh.
no.
So a none too positive reaction. But what did Ian think after having worn them? What's the verdict on the MBTs?
Quite comfortable. I thought standing I didn't find so comfortable. I found myself rocking back and forth and not quite knowing where to put my weight. But
were they improving your muscles, though, you think?
it's hard to say. I think maybe time will tell.
We then both headed off on the second leg of our tour in a pair of Skechers. What do you think about the look of these?
They look more like trainers, which is better than the other ones, but still not great.
Not great. Is that because of the shape, or is it
They just look a bit,
overall look?
I don't know, just not quite right yet. They look better than the other ones.
Better than the others?
Definitely
Better
better.
than the MBTs? Much better than the MBTs?
Yeah.
So a slight improvement on the first pair. Would the Fit Flops fare any better? Although Ian and I were sporting slightly different models, the all-important soles of the shoes were the same. How are you finding the Fit Flops?
I like them. I think they're much flatter than the others, not so rounded, and but I still feel quite a bit of support under my foot from the sole of them.
We were nearing the end of the tour, and Ian's ghostly stories had gone down well. But how were the Fit Flops faring?
A lot more trendy.
Right.
Yeah.
This is your best of the three?
Definitely, yes.
Right.
Would I be seen in them? No, I like heels, but I think you look good in them.
So a more positive verdict on the Fit Flops, though both Ian and I were unconvinced by the toning capabilities of all three pairs. Now for the G ratings. And it's 3Gs for the MBTs. They look unusual, but Ian and I both found them comfortable enough, even if the curved sole took some getting